There's something most of us just completely overlook, but it has the power to literally shape our entire day. And it happens in the very first few seconds after we wake up. Turns out, this tiny little window of time, it's way more important than you could ever imagine.
So just think back for a second. I don't mean what you did or what you checked on your phone. What was the very first mental sentence that ran through your head when you woke up today? Was it something like, not again? Or maybe just a messy jumble of anxieties about the day ahead?
Well, here's the thing most of us never realize. Your day doesn't really begin when your feet hit the floor. It begins with that first thought. And without even knowing it, most of us are using that thought to accidentally program our own brains for a day of stress, of resistance. We're setting a negative tone before we're even fully awake.
Okay, so look at this. This is a really crucial contrast. On the left, you've got that default accidental program that most of us run on. But on the right, well, that's something intentional. And look, this isn't just about positive thinking. It's about consciously choosing the very first instruction you give your brain for the day.
So how do we fix this? The good news is it's not about some complicated hour-long morning routine. No, the solution is actually shockingly simple. And it all happens in this tiny but incredibly powerful window of time. That's it. Just 15 seconds. That's all it takes to shift from an accidental morning to a totally intentional one. I mean, come on. We can all find 15 seconds, right?
And here's just how simple it is. When you wake up, before you do anything else, just lie still. Seriously, don't reach for that phone. Step 2, take one slow, deliberate breath. This tells your whole nervous system that you're safe. And then, step 3, gently and consciously create your first thought.
And this is the crucial question to ask yourself. And I want you to notice the wording here. It's not, what do I have to do today? It's not, what could go wrong? It's about choosing the internal emotional state, the climate, that you want to operate from. Do you want it to be calm, focused, patient? You get to choose.
Okay, I know this might sound like a simple little mind trick, but it's actually backed by some pretty fascinating neuroscience. There is a real biological reason why this tiny habit has such a huge impact. So, let's get into it.
First, there's a concept called cognitive priming. And what that means is your first thought acts like a filter for your brain for the rest of the day. If your first thought is about stress, guess what? Your brain spends the day scanning for more things to be stressed about. But if it's gratitude, it starts highlighting things to be grateful for. You're basically telling your brain's search engine what to look for all day long. And it goes even deeper than that. There's this incredible thing called neuroplasticity, which means your brain isn't fixed. It physically changes based on your repeated thoughts and actions. So every single time you do this 15-second habit, you are literally strengthening the neural pathways for calm and intention. You are actually building a new highway in your brain.
Think of it like this. There's a kind of battle inside your head. You've got the amygdala, which is like your brain's drama queen. It's the alarm system that freaks out first. Then you have the prefrontal cortex. That's the calm, rational CEO. That first intentional thought you have, it's like you're handing power over to your CEO, telling the alarm system to just stand down for a minute and letting logic take the lead.
I absolutely love this analogy. It just perfectly captures this idea of neuromomentum. See, the brain likes emotional consistency. So that first tiny little push, that one intentional thought, it creates a momentum that carries you through the rest of the day, making it so much easier to stay on that track.
Okay, so once you've really got the basic habit down, you can upgrade it to something even more powerful. It's called creating a neural anchor, and it builds directly on everything we've just learned.
So this technique has 3 quick parts. First, the physiological signal. A slow breath, and you consciously release the tension in your jaw and your shoulders. You're telling your body it's safe. Second, the emotional direction. You name that one word for the day. Calm, focused, whatever it is for you. And third, the future memory. You picture one small good thing that's going to happen later. I mean, it could be as simple as your first cup of coffee. This sets a psychological destination for your brain.
Now, this powerful technique, and even the basic 15-second habit, it can be instantly derailed by one single mistake. There is one habit that modern life has made completely normal that is the absolute worst thing you can do in those first precious minutes. And yeah, you guessed it, it's your phone.
Look, when you grab your phone first thing, you are literally letting the outside world write your brain's opening paragraph for the day. Other people's emergencies, notifications, bad news, that becomes your first thought.
You immediately shift into a reactive mindset, and you teach your brain that an easy dopamine hit comes before any kind of effort. You have to win these first few seconds.
So all of this leads to one final, really profound shift in how we approach our days. It's about fundamentally changing your role from someone who reacts to the day to someone who actually creates it.
Just let that one sink in. You can't control the traffic. You can't control your boss or the weather. But you absolutely can control your internal state. You can decide which version of you is going to show up to handle whatever the day throws at you. And trust me, that changes everything.
And that is the ultimate takeaway here. You know, emotionally stable people aren't just lucky. They're often just better at starting their days intentionally. They're not chasing a good mood all day, trying to catch up from a bad start. No, they are initiating it from the very first moment. So, tomorrow, before the noise, before the speed, before all the demands of the world rush in, just remember you have that brief, quiet pause, a 15-second window to direct your mind. The only question is, what kind of brain will you train? What instruction will you give it?